Hey, welcome to the DPP channel. We are finally back with some Digimon content on the channel, and I have been cooking for this, so I'm very happy to actually finally be back posting videos again. Of course, when I make a comeback, there should be a distinct change as to how videos will be done moving forward. So there's the obvious layout difference, the different camera angles you guys can see, the hand cam, the top-down view, and of course the overall look. I wish to bring you guys more of such content moving forward. So now enough about the formalities. Today we're going to take a look at the classic deck versus the hype of BT13, which is the versus Royal Knights. The Yggdrasil deck with its fellow Royal Knights versus my favorite waifu of all time, Mastemon. Now how will Mastemon actually fare against the mighty Yggdrasil and the 13 Royal Knights? So without further ado, let's dive right into the gameplay itself, as we do see Gatomon coming down, and Gatomon has been coming from a very far place, I would say. And in the top 3 we do review a Mastemon, a Lucemon, as well as an Angemon. Now this guy is definitely spoiled for choice, but looking at his hand, he definitely needs all 3 pieces in his hand. So which will he pick up? He actually does pick up the Lucemon as well as the Mastemon adding to hand, and of course the Lucemon is a no-brainer. Now we do move on to the Yggdrasil turn, as he does actually absorb one more Yggdrasil underneath him, and we're going to swing with the Omegamon, hitting into a Flame Hell Scythe, which of course does delete the Omegamon, but the Omegamon does have a very strong deletion effect, and we're going to proceed to put the Force Digimon underneath that Yggdrasil. Now, Yggdrasil does play a very different playstyle from the normal Digimon decks. It actually don't allow you to Digivolve, but you're just going to keep building the Digisources in the nursery itself. So with each nursery, you do actually reduce the cost of your cards, specifically the Royal Knights, and of course we do see the Purge of the Royal Knights coming down as well. Now it gets cheaper with every Yggdrasil flip, and you can just put one Royal Knight underneath the Digisource, really building towards that end game. Now the end game of the Yggdrasil is definitely playing towards that Omegamon, or rather the Obimon. Now the Obimon will destroy the Yggdrasil and then calling all the Royal Knights together, something like assemble the Avengers kind of moment, and then swinging for a game in one OTK fashion. Now we do see 4 memory for the Mastemon player, and he does have a lot of moves to make. It looks like he's gonna go for the Hikari play, so that he does guarantee 3 memory for the next turn, and Hikari of course is a very strong tamer that allows you to gain 1 memory if you do recover. Now the bane of the Yggdrasil deck is definitely the Psychmon, as we do see here. Now Psychmon has a very simple effect. Basically both players can't reduce play cost. It won't affect Mastemon as much, but it definitely affects the Yggdrasil playstyle, because Yggdrasil actually reduces the play cost of your next Royal Knight call. So if you don't have the reduction of the cost, the Royal Knights are actually very expensive to hard play, and this will definitely affect the tempo of the game. Now we're going to call down the Systemon Blanc, which is definitely a very popular pick in Royal Knights nowadays, given that it's a cycle as well as a blocker on its own. Now we do see a second push of the Royal Knights to actually cycle through the deck by putting the Gankumon into the nursery and then just passing turn. And let's not forget, the push of the Royal Knights does have a secondary ability, which does have a delay, and of course you can actually play a Royal Knight from underneath your Yggdrasil and has Rush. But of course it doesn't have the on-play ability, so you just can't abuse cards such as the Digimon as well as the other Royal Knights. Now we do see the Gatomon actually swinging as security, not giving a shit, and of course it does die to the Dynasmon in the security, and we do see the Mirai Tamer coming down, which is definitely a very strong tamer because it just gains 1 memory at the start of your turn. Now of course you are playing towards a second effect, and now before we do that, we're going to go for the push of the Royal Knights to actually call down the Magnamon from the nursery, to actually set up blockers I would imagine, and we really need to deal with the Psychmon. Now one of the other ways that Royal Knights actually can kill off the Psychmon is actually through the Marcus Damon Tamer, which was also introduced in BT13. Now how would that answer the Psychmon is basically because it actually just suspends itself and then applying a minus 3k DP on one of your opponent's Digimon, and also it does guarantee you 3 memory for the turn. So actually it's actually a very decent 2 card that actually people discover in BT13. Now we do have 4 memory for the left player here. It's going to push out the Gazimon. However, I don't think he's going to actually swing the Gazimon, because we do have the Magnamon as well as the Systemon who are actually blockers in this turn, and you don't really want to send your Gazimons to death. He does actually hesitate right there because he does really want to just apply some damage. However, we do see him actually calling the Reinforced Memory Boost, which is definitely a classic in the security control decks. And we're going to put one Angelmon to hand as well as Devilmon to the security. However, it does miss out the Hikari Tamer here, which actually can choke me at 1 memory, so that's a shame. And we actually top deck into a Mastemon. Now Mastemon is definitely the answer for this Sidemon as well as Gazimon combo. However, let's not forget, we don't actually reduce play cost, so we do actually have to pass a bunch of memory to the Mastemon player just to do this damage. And let's not hope, or let's hope he doesn't have a Sidemon to follow up. However, he does have 10 memory to work with, and that's plenty, or rather a wet dream for Mastemon players. So how we actually play out this turn, from his hand we do see a Chaos Degrade, Mastemon as well as Angelmon, and he actually top decks a level 4, which was very crucial to his place in this turn. He's going to actually evolve to the Gazimon in the nursery here first. And will he actually evolve in the nursery or just going to hard play? He's going to hard play and still have 5 memory to work with. And because he does have Mirai, that Angelmon is going to come in very clutch, because you still remember we actually put a Devilmon into the security, so he's definitely going to pick that up and using Mirai to actually spawn it out for free. So he's going to evolve to the Angelmon first for 3 costs, drawing 1, and using his ability to actually search the security for 1 Digimon with the Angel, Archangel or Fallen Angel in his traits and add it to hand. He's just going to add the Mastemon. Okay, so from his hand actually we do see the other Devilmon. Alright, Devilmon. He's going to use the Mirai ability, and as I mentioned just now, he's going to spawn the Devilmon for free. This allows him to actually have the both targets for Mastemon already on the field. Just like that, even though we do deal with the Sidemon, he does have plenty of memory, or rather we give him too much memory to work with. But let's just see how we're going to get punished, as we do see the Mastemon coming down with Yggdrasil Evolution. And of course, if you still remember, we do have the Lucemon Fallen Down mode from the drop zone. So it's going to actually put it into the security, it's going to shuffle a bunch and actually reveal his own security to his own hand. And that's actually play down the Lucemon Chaos mode. So sorry, actually I call it the fall down mode for some reason. That's my bad. And it's going to actually use the Mastemon ability to pop the Systemon with the decoy first. So we actually still can touch the Mastemon. And that's very unfortunate for the Royal Knight player, I must say. However, we choose to swing this turn because Yggdrasil does eliminate Summoning Sickness, so it doesn't actually have to wait a turn to swing. However, it's pretty scary to swing against Royal Knight because Royal Knight does have very big Mega Digimons, and Mega Digimons means they are high DP and they actually can kill the Mastemon. And we do actually hit into the Examon here, which is pretty unfortunate for the Mastemon player, as he just straight away sending it to the drop zone, even though he did have a very strong Yggdrasil turn in this turn alone. Now, he does have 3 memory to work with here, and how we actually play out this turn. Looks like it does actually decide to evolve to the Gatomon in the nursery, setting up for the next turn, which is a pretty smart move if you ask me, because there's no punish that the Royal Knight can do. So this really shows the weakness of the Royal Knights, in my opinion, because they do actually have to play some sort of tempo to reach to their huge stack of Yggdrasil before going down to the Omimon for the OTK. Now we do see Angelmon evolving in the nursery for 3 costs and passing back 3 memory to the left player, but it does have only Systemon Blanc in the field, and how we actually play it out. And let's not forget, we haven't done any security checks against the Mastemon, and we do need a total of 6 Royal Knights to actually end the game. Now, we do have reduction of 10 costs this turn thanks to Yggdrasil, but however, will it be enough, as we do see 3 Leopardmons in hand, and that's the worst situation to have, I would imagine. It's going to hard play the Leopardmon for just 1 cost, pretty cheap, and going to use the Leopardmon effect to actually further reduce the next Royal Knight core by 4, and in the form of Magnamon for just 3 costs, but however, it does have Hikari as well as Mirai to guarantee that 4 memory for this turn. And with level 5 being pushed out, we can imagine what's going to come already. Of course, another Mastemon, given that the Lucemon Chaos mode has not been touched. It's going to go straight into the Yggdrasil, I would imagine, because he does have the Mastemon in hand. Okay, he's setting up and really thinking it through first. He's going to go for the Mastemon here, slotting down that Lucemon into the Digisource. And they're going to go to that very pretty Mastemon AA. Okay, so it's going to actually search the drop zone now. Going to put 1 card into the security and then calling a level 5 below from the security to the field. It's going to put the Angelmon into the life here. And honestly, I'm pretty amazed how Mastemon is still a very relevant deck in the current meta, because Mastemon has so much strong Digimons as well as options that really enable the deck to deal with big bodies, especially the Royal Knights. Now we do see the Angelmon coming down, and that's actually Heal 1 here, so basically an OPC So I do apologize for that misplay, and was not caught by the Royal Knight. However, let's just imagine, even if he doesn't heal there, this game is not in Royal Knight's favor at all, okay? So he does actually have the 5 memory to work with here. It's going to pay 4 to actually evolve to the Ophanimon 4-down mode. And of course with Ophanimon you do heal 1, putting down to 7 security already. Even if he doesn't heal 1 extra just now, he will have 6. And looks like he's not yet done because he's going to flash that Odinmon. Man, Odinmon is a card that actually people haven't really played towards to. It's going to flex it on me here with the AA. So what does Odinmon actually do? When you DNA Digivolve, you can delete one of your opponent's level 6 or higher Digimon and all their level 5 or lower Digimon. And for each deleted Digimon, you do heal 1, and there's no limit for that. But of course, the expensive cost is the DNA Digivolve. Now on deletion, it does actually allow you to play back this card by just trashing the top card of your security, and just like that, he does have 9 security. Even if we took that 1 security off thanks to that misplay, you have 8 security, and that will be a tall order for Royal Knight or Yggdrasil to actually go for game from here. So it's going to swing with the Ophanimon, and let's not forget he does have the Angelmon inherit ability, so it's a double check. It does hit into the Dukemon as well as Craniumon, so we do have 0 security left against that tall, nice security. It's going to use the Reinforced Memory Boost to gain 3 memory, pushing it up to 4. It looks like he does intend to choke me with the Angelmon Hardcore. And this is just perfection from the Mastemon player. And because of the inherent abilities of the Angelmon, or the Angelwoman, the Angelmon does have blocker, which don't really matter now, but it's definitely a flex from the left player. Now we do have minus 10 cost in this turn, and why not just call it a day by actually hard playing the Omimon, which is definitely a very handsome card no matter how you see it. And it's going to actually use the ability to pop the Odinmon. And as I mentioned just now, Odinmon does have the ability to just trash a top security and then calling it back to the field. Talk about a very sticky waifu, and with that, he does have game with the Odinmon swing, and we can't do anything about it. So the Mastemon does take this win from here. So thank you guys for watching till the end, and do consider subscribing, dropping a like and a comment if you guys do enjoy the content.